to a new season of Smooth Sailing, a Buccaneer Student Services podcast where we take time to talk about the real challenges and real triumphs of Buccaneers. I'm Mr. Wilson Harvey, our social emotional learning specialist here at B-UHS, and also the host of this year's podcast. To kick off our second season, and kickoff is a very appropriate word given what we're about to talk about. We got some students joining us here today who made some major accomplishments last week. First of all, we've got Buccaneer Junior, Cadence Vincent. Say hello to the people.
Hello.
Who just won 3 more state swimming titles in the 50-yard freestyle, the 100-yard backstroke, and the 200-yard freestyle relay. Now that came in with your sister Riley Vincent, Elena Whitehair, and Cameron Zuliani, so congrats to them as well. This is, 7 state titles now? Something like that? That's no big deal, no sweat, that's pretty cool. It's great to have you here with us.
Thank you for having me.
And then we've also got Buccaneer Junior Preston Bennett, who just won his first state swimming title in the 200-yard freestyle. And dude, you had one of the hardest water slaps right after you won. I bet you still got to be in pain, but that was such an epic victory, man.
Yeah.
How'd it feel?
Felt good to get that one off. Won my first state title, so.
That's awesome, man. I was extremely proud of both of you. So today we're going to talk just a little bit to start off about states and about what that experience was like. And I'm going to start with you, Cadence, because again, I know that you've kind of been here, done that almost with the state title side of things. For you, how do you keep motivated once you won a state title your freshman year, you go along? How is it hard to keep motivated in that sense?
Well, last year and my freshman year, I swam the same events. So I think switching up one of my events this year kind of motivated me more to get another state title in a different event, so I can say I also won a different stroke, and plus that changes it up some, so it's not so boring, because I would have been doing freestyle the whole entire meet because I do it in our relays too. So the backstroke is what motivated me this year.
And the backstroke is a very interesting one because I liken it to walking backwards almost.
Yeah.
Is that from a general standpoint, is that an awkward race? I mean, I know the breaststroke is also a very awkward race because you look like you're just bobbing up and down.
Yeah.
I'm speaking here with no knowledge of swimming other than what I've seen, but I don't know, is it a different type of deal? Is it weird?
Well, for backstroke, honestly, the 100 backstroke hurts more than 100 free for me. I don't know what it is, but it just kills your legs. But I think only reason why I do good in it is because of my underwaters. I do most of the 100 underwater.
So the new race kind of helped with motivation. Do you find yourself almost trying to beat your own time, beat your own records, that sort of thing? Or?
Yeah, I wanted to in the 50 free this year, but I was just short of beating my time from last year. So I'm hoping to get that next year, because I'll probably swim back to my normal events, 50 free, 100 free next year. And then also the relays motivated me this year because Cameron, we're losing her, she's a senior, and then I don't know if Riley's going to swim next year, and I think this is the last time we have that same group of girls, and it was kind of our last shot to get a state title together. So.
Sure. Now Preston is a first-time state title winner, and for me as a no-time state title winner, I gotta say, man, that again, it was really epic. What was going through your head? Because you had also this really awesome push there right at the end of your race. So what's going through your mind as you're sitting there going through the water?
Well, I had a strategy going in, so the other 2 competitors that were close to me usually take it out pretty fast. Faster than probably you should, but so I knew that, and I don't like taking it out fast. I have the endurance to where I can kind of turn it up that back half, so that's what I did. I just wanted to keep at his feet for the first 125-ish, and then that's when I kind of took it and ran with it, I guess.
And kicked into gear.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was one of the most exciting races of the day. So you look at that, and that's your first title now.
Yeah.
How does that motivate you moving forward? Because you also, you were not that far off in the 500 too.
Yeah. Well, Frankie McCutcheon from university, that kid's different breed, man. He's really good. He's a great guy. So, and I dropped so much time in that event, so I couldn't be anything but happy to get second in that event. But next year, I'm definitely looking to win both of those races, and definitely we have our whole relay back. So, trying to win a state title in one of those would be awesome as well. So, I think that's what's trying to motivate me. So.
Absolutely. State title's a good motivator, and I'm
Yeah.
sure there's got to be some kind of, and maybe we'll talk about this here in a second, but just the feeling of being able to do that. It's so, I think people don't realize how rare that really is.
Yeah.
So I'm awful proud of y'all for that. Cadence, I'm going to come back to you for just a second, because I know earlier this year you also had the chance, you went through kind of the recruiting process, and we're going to pivot a little bit to talk about both of y'all's plans after high school. Tell us a little bit about what that was like in terms of committing to Alabama and going through that whole gauntlet of stuff.
Well, it started last June, and at first that summer wasn't that bad. You know, like I talked to people almost every day, but it wasn't like a lot of stress. But once school got started, it was a lot on my shoulders, because then I was also swimming, and then I missed a lot of school visiting places.
Mm-hmm.
But Alabama was by far my favorite out of all of them. I just clicked with them. The coaches were amazing. The program was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I still, like, the stuff they have is just unreal. And that motivates me also, because my coaches always want to keep in touch and, like, know what my times are and stuff. So I always want to do extra good to, like, make sure they don't, like, change their mind of wanting me or anything like that. Like, I always want my times to be good, mainly also for them too. And it's kind of scary thinking about going. Like, I don't have mixed feelings about it, but sometimes I'm really excited, and other times I'm like, oh god, like, finally leaving and stuff. But
It's like
it's
a big
lot.
step.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, certainly going somewhere too that it's like there's similarities, but it's also different. It's a big school. I mean,
Yeah.
Buccaneer-upshur is not a small school, but you go to a giant college like the university, even WVU is a huge school. So, what would you say is the part you're most excited for? What's the part you're like most nervous for?
I'm really excited to like their team and stuff,
Mhm.
and then also the weather, because whenever when we had that big snowstorm like a month ago, I was looking at the weather in Tuscaloosa and it was like 75.
Everybody that wants to move south does
Yeah.
it for the weather, man.
No, and then they practice outside in the mornings,
Uh-huh.
and if it's nice out, they'll go out there in the evenings, and even if it's cold, they'll have heaters around the pool. But they get tan and everything. That's what I'm looking forward to.
That's awesome. I will be here not getting tan, but so it goes. Preston, talk to us a little bit. What's your plan in terms of after high school, and are you looking to swim and compete? What are you thinking?
Well, my goal is definitely to swim at the next level.
Mhm.
I haven't really been in contact with schools as of now. I am going to start emailing. Swimming's kind of a sport where some schools will reach out to you, but you also have to reach out to schools.
Mhm.
So I'm going to start reaching out to the schools after, relatively soon. That's just something I never did until now. But I do definitely want to swim in college, and I'd love to go to WVU. That's kind of, I know people are like, oh, that's your dream school. That is my dream school, is to go and swim for WVU. So that's probably my goal. We'll see if we can get it though. So that's definitely what motivates me too, is trying to go swim at the next level. So
Yeah. Well, that's legit, and I mean they do have a pretty solid swim program up there. I think they're both great schools to choose. I'm not a Alabama football fan, but I'll root for the swim team. Kids.
You're an Ohio State fan, aren't you?
I am an Ohio
I
State
talked to
fan.
them, but they have too many people in their swim team, which is not it for me.
That's fair. I got to tell you,
Yeah.
I know absolutely nothing about Ohio State swimming.
Yeah.
So I am not offended nor hurt. Roll Tide on this side of things. So I'm going to ask both of y'all a couple questions now. As we look at the swim team, all right, y'all seem to have a pretty solid bond, right? Like, definitely a lot of, first of all, you got your cousin on the team. You got your sister on the team. Second of all, it seems like y'all just mesh really well. Talk to me a little bit about what that camaraderie has been like as you've gone through your 3 years of high school?
Well, he has 2 cousins on the team. He's also Carter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So there's like they're their own little family,
How
and
could I
then
forget?
from where I used to be really close with Cameron, I see Carter as a little brother to me. And then same with Elaine. I've known her since I was in kindergarten, went to elementary school with her. And obviously my little sister, she's friends with all of them. She's friends with Preston. She's best friends with Carter. I think all of us are just, it's like kind of weird how many like relationships we have within the 9 of us or 8 of us that usually like are the main group everyone hangs out with there at practice. So.
Well, we've been swimming together since we were 6, 7, 8 years old, so that's kind of where that started, and it's just stuck ever since. So
it's also crazy seeing how like all of us have improved over the time too, because like looking back, I've found all these pictures and like we were all little and I would have never thought that we'd all be at this level right now, honestly. Like, and it's funny like seeing, I always get these like flashbacks of like years and years ago, and like we're all like, we've matured so much. And then I see updated pictures like at the state meets and stuff, and it's just crazy.
Well, you have. Speaking as somebody who's student taught both of you in 6th grade, you've definitely matured vertically a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool to see that. I mean, you're almost amphibious now, but you really have. I mean, what you're doing is no small feat. So, looking at next year, we talked a little bit about motivation. Do you all have any specific big goals when you talk about, okay, swim season? You can bring in school goals here too, but when you're looking especially at swim, what is it that you want to accomplish?
Probably win 2 more state titles, and then it's gonna be tough, but I'd love to get the 200 free state record. I'd love to do that, but it's definitely gonna be hard. So I think that's probably my main goal.
It's good to set tough goals. So that's what's up.
Yeah.
All right, for me, my next goal, I have another swim meet here in about a month, and like I just hope to get into like the A final of that, of at least 2 of my events there. So that's my like main goal right now. But for next year, I'm just gonna try to make it like the best year I can, since it's my last one here. And like I don't really care too much about dropping time, but to get back my state records for my sophomore year would be a big accomplishment for me. So that's my main goal.
That would be really cool. And you said you want to make it the best year while you're here. What does that look like?
I think it's going to be fun. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this summer too. I'm actually really excited for this summer. So even like we swim together in the summer too, and it's more of like a fun thing. It's every morning, but we're outside and we have meets like 2 days a week. So we're together a lot all year round. So
I'm going to ask a dumb question. Do you all, I know you swim obviously competitively in a pool. Do you ever swim for fun,
it's
but
really
compete
hard
in like
to.
a lake
It's
or an ocean?
It's hard to have. Okay, and maybe like pools, it's hard to have fun because you're like, what do you do? Unless there's like something you can jump off of. But lakes and rivers and stuff they're more fun. They're to kind of
Rivers.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Just don't go in the shallow side of things.
No, yeah, it's hard to have fun though in a pool when you're not swimming.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure, especially after you're so used to doing it competitively, and you go and it's just like a bunch of splashing people around. I mean, of course, we know from your state performance, you're not opposed to slapping the water there. So, another fun one here. I need to know, and you can go outside the realm of the pool for this one if you want, but if you had a swimming related superpower or an amphibious type of superpower, what would that be? I don't know if you're going like Aquaman and talking to fish here, or what we're going for.
I feel like mine would just be like being able to breathe underwater, because that's going like swimming underwater is how I survive most of my races. Like Hunterfly, I do a like total of 75 of it underwater.
Wow.
Like, so I feel like breathing underwater would be what I would want to do.
Does that become like a big challenge for you in terms of holding your breath, or is it?
It comes pretty easy, honestly. If you, especially in a race, at practice, it's kind of hard to get off the walls, but in the meet, you don't really think of like, it's so quick, you know. But underwaters is how I survive like 50% of my races. So.
So quick diversion then. I assume when you all were kids, you both tried to hold your breath for a amount of time underwater.
Yeah.
What's the record? What you got?
Oh God,
I don't even know. I haven't it's hard to go down and just sit and count.
Yes.
If you're swimming underwater at 25 and back, all underwater, it's easier because you're moving.
Mhm.
But I've never timed myself recently, so.
Yeah, that was my experience with the pool. Was basically I would just dump my head under and just count, and then I was not very good at it. Preston, what's your superpower? Man?
She stole mine, so I think that's what it'd be. I don't know.
Breathing underwater.
Yeah.
Got to get you some gills, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, last question. You're looking at people who are young students here, maybe young student athletes or people who are curious about sports. What would be your advice to them if they're looking, okay, hey, I want to get into sports, I want to jump into this type of environment, or I'm not sure if I want to get into sports? What would you tell people?
I would tell them that to definitely get into sports because it's changed my life, and I know a lot of people and a lot of my friends that they're all in sports, and it's either the highlight of their day or the most important thing in their life right now. And also just have fun with it, because I've known from experience, being upset out of me or not having fun with it, it messes up your performance. You're not going to do good if you're not smiling and having fun with it too. So that's my biggest advice.
And it can be tough, I think, to having fun with it. Balancing, is it hard to balance that with the competitive side of things?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because 1 second you want to be serious and all right, gotta do this, gotta do that, but then you just want to be don't care, just have fun with it. Because I go back and forth, but I never show really my competitive side. I usually don't have a straight face before my race, so.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
It means you're having fun.
I would tell kids definitely to get in sports. High school and your school is short, so just have fun with it as much as possible, and a lot of that can be through sports. So I definitely recommend kid and just find your interests and get into that, or just a club or anything that would get you around a group of people.
Yeah, if I wasn't so serious with swimming, I'd be doing every sport just for the fun of it. Trying everything, but when you want to do something at a certain level, you can't really, if you want to focus on one thing, you gotta let everything else go. So.
Well, and that social aspect is really like you were saying, I don't know, I imagine that some of the people that you are closest with, or you certainly spend the most time with, are the people that you are competing with.
Oh yeah. Especially with swimming, everybody knows everybody. Especially for me, the class of 2022, I was such good friends with most of those guys. It was kind of crazy to think that this is my last time competing against most of them. So that's the thing, especially with swimming, is everybody knows everybody, everybody's friends with everybody. So
You've been doing it for so long together.
Yeah.
Well, again, we're really proud of you. Y'all do an amazing job representing the Buccaneers, so thank y'all for that. And thank you all for listening. Really glad you could join us here on our first episode of this second season of Smooth Sailing. We're going to try to have one of these out every week, so keep checking back in. We'll be highlighting what Buccaneers do. We'll be talking a little bit about some social, emotional, college, career, academic stuff. So stay tuned. We appreciate y'all, and as always, go Bucks.